All right guys, so it has been roughly about 6 months since I last made a video on the Z900, and that's mainly because I've been waiting for parts to arrive. Well, finally today the fairing showed up, which is the final piece of the puzzle to get this bike finished. In addition to all that, a few weeks ago I was editing a video, my computer crashed, and I have unfortunately lost all previous footage of me getting the bike to where it is right now. So before we get started, let me get you guys updated on the Z900. All right guys, so where we left off on part one was we got the bike started and everything was still damaged on the bike. Things I replaced were the tank, the handlebars, all the controls, this shifter. I removed the passenger pegs as well as the secondary muffler. And that's pretty much it. You guys are now officially updated. Again, it kind of sucks that the footage was lost, but I mean, really, it was just me installing a handlebar with some controls and replacing that fuel tank there. So now moving on to what we are going to install today to finish up the bike. We're going to be installing some bar and mirrors. I also got a bolt kit to make this installation a little bit easier. All the fairings laid out on the floor here. I think I remember how most of this goes. I did assemble the side fairings that mount to the tank here. I do want to go a little more detail on how these are put together, just because they're kind of, I guess, unique. And then let's see here, a integrated turn signal tail light. So I'm gonna put you guys up on the time lapse and get to work. Okay, so the rear section is pretty much done. All I have to do is put on the seat and the passenger seat, but I just want to show you guys all these bolts real fast. You got one there that you're barely just going to be able to see, and then you got the tail tidy bolts up here. You do have this clip that I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it in the time lapse, but slide it forward and let it rest on that clip there. You also have 4 bolts for this rear fairing here, and then 2 Phillips on each side. 2 plastic screws in there to hold some of the harness, and that's pretty much it. As for the side fairings, you got 1 bolt here that runs all the way over here, and then for this piece here you just have 1 bolt there and another right there. At the beginning of the video I did mention that I wanted to show you guys how these tank fairings bolt on to the bike or put together, and the off chance that one of you guys are repairing a Z900 as well. So let me put you guys up on the tripod and I'll show you guys this real fast. Okay, so I have the left side here and the right side is right here. I'm gonna use the left side just to show you guys where the push pins go. So you have one there, another one here, and another one here. It's 3 pieces. And I'll show you guys that on the right side, and then 1 Allen head bolt that bolts to the frame, 1 that will go into the tank. This one is here just to hold this piece of the fairing to this piece, and this side, or this end rather, is gonna go to the tank. And then it's kind of really sloppy. I'm gonna show you how you throw this thing together. One thing to note, that this one fairing is 5 pieces. So you have this one bracket that bolts to the bottom of the radiator. Well, it's not the bottom, but the bracket's near the radiator. And this piece is its own piece. It's held together by these 2 screws. And then I'll show you guys how you put this together. So this will just go there. That just kind of clips into place. Again, you have that bolt there that will keep these 2 pieces together. This piece needs to go under this piece of plastic. Again, this is just really sloppy. It should just give you a rough idea how this goes together. And then that will slide in like that. There it is, all together, ready to go on the bike. This was kind of fun trying to figure out how this went together after, you know, what was it, 4 or 5 months not working on it. Actually 6 months not thinking about it, but anyways, that's how you put those together, and they're ready to go on the bike. All right guys, so the front fairings are on, and with that it's pretty much complete, aside from a few things. One being, I need to replace this radiator still, if and when that thing comes in. I need to get this addressed. I don't know if I'm gonna take it off and have it powder coated or just spray paint it. Kind of leaning to getting it powder coated, you know, just so it matches everything else on the bike. Here's a nice look at the tail light. Still says Z, which is pretty cool. And also, I want to get that rash on the frame addressed. So once I do those things, it will be 100% complete, aside, you know, getting it registered and then washing it. But yeah, overall, really happy with the way this thing turned out. So tomorrow I'm gonna go get this thing registered, take this thing out for its first ride, and then we'll do a price breakdown. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so it's a new day, and the bike is now registered, and as promised I want to do a price breakdown for you guys. I did buy this bike at auction as a buy it now, and that price was $1,600 after all auction fees and everything was said and done. Total price came up to $2,233. I did need to get this bike rekeyed, and that costed $77. I replaced the fuel tank, that was $435. I have a radiator on order, still not here yet, but that was $140. I did buy a complete OEM handlebar with all controls. That was $278. The shift lever, that was $30. The fairing kit, that was $464. The undertail fender from Suzuki, $75. Tail light was $70. The bar and mirrors were $38. The bolt kit was $26, and to get this thing titled and registered was $160, which brings it to a grand total of $4,026. Which, if you ask me, for a 2021 with now 713 miles on the bike, I think that's a pretty good deal, considering this bike I think costs around $10,000, and not including if you finance it, all the interest and all that. So I mean, if you find one of these bikes that aren't, you know, really wrecked, in which, in my opinion, this bike wasn't really wrecked to begin with, it's a pretty good deal. Alright guys, so the only thing left to do now is to get this thing washed. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the videos. I'll catch you guys in the next one.